Okay, let's go.
Allahumma barik to him, man. May Allah make him
Yeah, big up
successful
to
and
him,
keep
man.
going, man. But
Humble guy as well.
He's a nice guy,
I've met
man.
him a few times. Humble guy,
Yeah,
bro.
he's a
Nice
nice
lad.
guy.
Yeah,
He's
do you not
established
think like
guy,
they try
you
to
know?
like be
imitate.
like imitate Kale, like black people?
I've got
Aye.
shot 5 times and I'm still.
And then all of a sudden, the same person that was on road, you know what I mean, doing his graft or whatnot, now all of a sudden, he's doing da'wah. You know what I mean?
There's a difference. There's one trying to get them into the path of Islam, right? And doing what scholars are doing or sheikhs are doing, that sort of stuff. And there's one trying to stop them from going into the roadman life. There's a difference between the two.
Why do they need the community's acceptance though?
The people that you are supposed to be standing side by side in Salah, the people that you are talking to in the masjid, the youth that you are trying to get into the right path, or not necessarily into the right path, that should be for them to guide to the scholars.
Don't chase dunya, bro. Let dunya chase you.
So you mentioned Kifi, you mentioned Naki, both of these guys from Stoke-on-Trent. Do you think there should be more people joining with these guys like us?
All that money they spend, whether they do charity, it's haram, bro.
Exactly.
That money
They
doesn't
probably
count for
think,
nothing anymore.
Bismillah, mari, pook, mari. That's it.
Exactly. That's it.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode.
Waiting for it,
I know, man. Like I'm fully composed myself and everything, man.
That's why I'm laughing. Taking him so long. Okay, go on.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Room 404. I'm AK,
I'm Matty.
I'm T.
I'm Ace.
and we are the Outliers. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment, and hit that notification bell. I've been raking on that one. Now, if you watch our videos and you like them, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe, all that. So we're back with another episode. We are going to be talking about today the roadman lifestyle kind of stuff, right? People who are trying to live that roadman lifestyle, young lads, young people. But before we do that, we're talking about young people, or not roadmen, but young people. Local lad, South Asian, from our ends, doing well in boxing, mashallah. Shabazz,
Mashallah,
Maverick,
yeah.
Masood.
Yeah.
You had a
Smashing it.
fight over the weekend. You guys watched the fight?
Yeah. Peter McGrady fought, and bro, the guy's quality.
Yeah.
His boxing is next level.
Who's?
Shabazz.
Oh, I thought you were about Peters.
No. Shabazz.
Yeah.
I didn't actually.
Shabazz won the fight, and so
Yeah, yeah.
Shabazz won. It was unanimous. So, but yeah, the guy was his boxing is out of this world. Probably could be a bit more aggressive. I think that's what a lot of people were saying. Probably should have put it on him.
When he's
Level
got the opponent on the ropes.
Yeah. I saw, he landed a good body shot, and probably I thought he might finish him. And then he stepped back. But his boxing ability is next level.
Yeah, man. He's got a lot to his game, man.
He's a young lad, isn't he, from
Yeah.
Stoke?
Yeah.
I didn't really watch the fight myself. I
Same.
missed it, but T, you told me about the fight.
Yeah.
I watched highlights of it, and he does look good, and he does
so
look good.
Even
So
in his
good.
previous fights as well that I've seen, bro, he's got a lot of quality. Of quality, man.
And it's good to see, man. Mashallah, somebody from our ends, Apna, being an example for the young people as well.
Yeah.
Because he's not had an easy path. We know that he's been back and forth, trying to get fights, this, that. the
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
He,
Apparently, yeah.
and he's stuck to it, and he's stuck to it. Mashallah, he's moving up the ranks and he's doing his thing now. He's got a couple of belts now, hasn't
Yeah, I think this was a
This
European one he won.
yeah.
he?
He's already won the IBF. That he
Yeah.
won the last fight.
Yeah.
IBO.
IBO. I think it was IBO, yeah.
IBO, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's one thing that I think there's a lot of young people around our ends that should be looking up to. Someone like Shabazz, who's worked hard, grafted, and kept going, even with the hurdles that he's had. And I'm talking about the boxing hurdles that he's had.
Yeah.
And I think it sets an example towards the young people that you know,
If you
there's a way
dedicate-
out
If you
wanna.
dedicate yourself to something,
Yeah.
you know, the rewards will come eventually.
Could have easily gone down.
100%.
The-
You know,
the other
I'm
path
pretty
as
sure
well.
his upbringing was similar to everyone else living
Yeah,
around
yeah,
us.
yeah,
You know, he could have
definitely.
chose the streets. He could have done other things. You know, but he stuck to his passion or.
Yeah,
what-
Allahumma barik to him, man. You know, may Allah make him
Yeah, big up
successful
to
and
him,
keep
man, big
going,
up.
man. But
Humble guy as well.
He's a nice guy,
I've met
man.
him a
He's
few times. Humble guy,
yeah,
bro.
he's a
Nice lad.
guy. Your brother went to watch the fight.
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
he?
yeah.
Monaco.
Yeah, man.
Good man.
so that brings me on to a question. Like, what do you think is the reason why the young lads? I'm not necessarily saying nowadays, this generation. Obviously, our generation, and above us as well. What necessarily pulls them towards the streets? Like, why are they more inclined towards going down that path than trying to find something that they are good at or passionate about? Or do you think that's what they're passionate about? What gets them
I think
going that down?
for a lot of them, it's peer pressure as well, isn't it? Like, you know, they'll see a few months doing it, and then it's peer pressure as well. But then it also comes into, like, we always say easy come, easy go as well. That easy money. You know what I mean?
That's what it is. One aspect is the financial aspect of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
The other people kind of see it as
Rap as well.
rap.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So I
then-
think with Asian lads, South Asian lads, I think with our communities in general, whoever's got money, people, you know, big them up.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
guy's got money. You know, people start rating, you know, someone, you know, they don't care where the money's come from. They're like, oh, my man's got money, and everyone shows them respect. Whatever they say behind their backs or whatnot, but they show them respect because they've got money. So I think that sort of, with young lads, they see that, yo, look, everyone, you know, rating my man, and they're going to try to be the same, and,
Yeah.
you know, and let's be honest, these ones are in the streets, they make money, you know, so I think that's probably a thing as well. You know,
It's the
that
goms, innit? The
Yeah.
clothes, the clothes that they wear,
They-
the cars
Yeah.
that they may.
and then
may or
and then
not be
also to
driving.
that is music, you know, especially, you know, the UK drill music,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that,
yeah.
whatever. You
Do you
know.
not think, like,
Any
they,
sort of music? To be fair, that's what they sort of big up. And
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
in the streets. I shot this guy. I did this.
yeah,
I
yeah.
did
Do you not
stabbed
think,
this
like,
guy,
they try
you know?
to, like, be
Imitate.
like, imitate Kale? Like black people.
I got
I-
shot 5 times and I'm still.
I honestly
Five
think,
shots,
like, you
gonna
know,
drop it.
they watch stuff like, you know, Top Boy and
yeah,
like that, and
yeah,
they're like,
drama
yeah.
series like that as well. Yeah, 100%.
and then, you know, they try to act like them, dress like them as well.
But what is it
know
more
what I
though? Is it the influence of music and TV shows and serials, that sort of stuff, or is it the influence of the people that they're around or they grow up watching and that sort of stuff?
All of
There's that
all
thing
of
as
it,
well,
but
and,
yeah.
and you mentioned money. You mentioned money. You mentioned respect. What about like feeling? Obviously, peer pressure was
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So that comes to what I'm about to say was like feeling like they belong somewhere. Like they don't want the
Fit
peer
in.
pressure, the
Yeah,
feeling
yeah,
left
yeah. Fit in,
out.
yeah.
So is it a combination of everything? Is it one or the other? Is
It depends on each
what-
individual. I think obviously out of everything we've just mentioned, some people are going to look towards the money side of it.
Yeah.
You know, some people probably look at the respect side. Some kids are.
Oh, it's
everyone-
false respect though, isn't
100%,
it?
yeah.
It's
100%.
not.
But
It's
they
not
don't see
respect
things
out of. It's not respect out of we respect what you're doing. It's more fear, isn't
Fear,
it?
yeah, that's the- yeah, that's
It's,
the one,
it's
that's the
more
one.
fear, and there's a line between that, isn't it?
Yeah,
Respect and fear.
I think for some people that choose that life, it's similar to academics. They be like, yo, I need to graduate, I need to get my degree. Some people strive to go into jail the quickest.
Yeah, yeah, bro, it's
That's
facts,
literally
man.
like, yo, I made it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it, my
yeah,
reps there
facts,
now.
facts.
That's the outlook that they have.
But then you also get, you also get some people like, they start off in that lifestyle, but then they get away from that as well. Very rare.
There is. And
Yeah.
I know you're smiling.
Yeah.
But that is true though.
The
There are
reason
people,
I'm smiling, let's not get into that. But go on.
No, but that does happen
Yeah.
where people do try to escape from that lifestyle
Yeah.
and try to get into another lifestyle. But do you think the society gives them a second chance? Do you think that tag of their lifestyle, that roadman lifestyle, do you think that tag stays with them
I
forever?
think
Is
it depends on the person.
Yeah.
Some people, they live that life, the street life, whatnot. Then they all of a sudden they change.
Yeah.
Yeah. They change whatever, Allah knows best, yeah, but they then portray themselves out to be religious.
Yeah.
Yeah? Because that's what happens, it's like street,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then, you know...
One end to the spectrum
yeah,
to the
so
other
then
end.
it's like, and then all of a sudden, the same person that was on road, you know what I mean, doing his graft or whatnot, now all of a sudden, he's doing da'wah. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, bro, like, I don't believe that.
But is that...
It's a fact, bro. You know what I
No,
mean?
but is that a bad thing though? Because because he probably knows there are kids that are looking up to him for the wrong reasons, and he's trying to take that step to say, if I go down this road, right, and I say I'm going down the dawah road, he's like, okay, I can probably take these kids off the streets and bring them into the life of Islam. So I think whether they're doing it, whether you're saying like it's a bit too much going from one end to the other end of the spectrum. Sometimes people don't know how to balance.
Yeah.
Sometimes people only know the extreme, one extreme or the other. They can't go half-heartedly into anything. There is no balance of deen and dunya. There has to be one or the other for them.
I think that's a fact as well, like, because the youngsters may not pay attention to someone that hasn't walked that life, or they'll be like, yo, this guy don't know how it is.
Yeah. But then
when you got someone who's been through that,
that's
they can be
exactly
like,
what I was
if he
going
could
to say.
change, why can't I change?
Yeah. And then he can give himself as an example as well. Like, look, yo, I used to be doing the things that you're doing now. It's not worthy at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, there's more to life.
And there's some people that do it for clout.
Yeah.
Which I think that you had a bit of thingy towards that.
See, the way I look at it is, when you change, and you change for the best, my opinion,
Of course, all of it is our opinion. So
I think that when you change, and if you've done all that wrong, bro, it's got to be self-reflection, you know, for someone to do a madness or whatnot, and then all of a sudden, you know, they're on stages talking, this, that, all of a sudden they sort of doing speeches and whatnot. I don't agree with it.
Is that not a form of self-reflection though? Would you not say that's a form of
self-reflection, you know, away from everyone, bro. Like if you're changing, you know, then there's a fine line between, like you said, doing it for clout and actual, you know what I mean? That's why it seems like some people, they get respect there. Now they're so used to that respect, they want respect over here.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
they
what
want
I mean?
the acceptance.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
acceptance, exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
And
well, it's not. I don't think it's necessarily
and
a
I
bad
think-
thing. I understand where you're coming from, where you're saying the reasoning behind why they do it might be wrong.
like I said,
but-
Allah knows best.
Yeah, of course. No,
But-
and we're not here to judge anybody.
Yeah.
My point in that is the fact that if the person knows there are people that look up to him and they have been following his footsteps for the wrong reasons, and he now will get them same people and try to direct them through the right way, the right path.
But that person should still be on his own journey, you know? So it's like, it's not an overnight thing changes it, right?
So I'm going to stop you there because I'm going to ask you a question on that, yeah? So one of the questions that I was going to ask was, do you think that communities give a second chance? And because they've already got that perception.
They've already taught that person.
Yeah.
That's
And that's the bit. And I'm not saying you're doing that, but I'm saying that what you've got is doubts.
Yeah.
Up for, and you've probably got certain individuals in your head, whatever. Yeah.
No, I haven't.
No,
It's not
okay.
about it. It's a common thing everywhere.
Okay, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
for me
okay.
to have certain individuals, it's unfair. It's a thing that happens all over the UK or wherever else. Yeah. I was just gonna make a point, but it's just slipped out of my mind. Come on, Bongo, something like that.
Second chance community.
Yeah, go on, carry on.
Yeah. No,
I forgot.
my question was that does the community that these people are part of, do they give them a second chance? Will they accept them for that change that they've made, or will they judge them based on their past? We are nobody to judge, and we're not talking about us as individuals. We're talking in general.
I think nowadays communities do, and I think they hold them up and higher, like, oh, this guy's a roadman now. You know what I mean? This, that. But the way I look at it, bro, is if you were a roadman, if you were, you know, selling mall or whatever,
Yeah.
Selling what?
Yeah.
It's a
Is it
gunda.
if you're a gunda?
Oh, I go selling it. But no. I'm like, yo. Yeah, so if you are, bro, you gotta start back from the bottom. You gotta get rid of the haram. When you telling me a lot of these mans are out there doing these speeches and whatnot, they got rid of all the haram pesa that they made on road.
We don't know. We don't know,
Nah,
but I
bro,
get,
they
I
ain't
get, I
doing
get where you
that.
come from.
But that's what it means. So it's like a change has got to be a proper change, not a, okay,
Yeah.
you know what, I got to keep this here, this stash here, you know what I mean? But then, you know, because that's
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
you know what I mean? You got it, bro.
No,
so
I get his point, man. Obviously, the fronting to kind of get that recognition anyway.
I don't think it's front.
But they used
I think
to love
they're still holding on to that life while still living
I don't-
this
I
life.
So this is what I mean by fronting. They're putting that persona on
Yeah,
it while still
okay.
doing what they
I
were
think
doing.
they're very common
I don't think
nowadays.
they-
And they used to look up to that kind of person, you know, like someone that's been jailed. Now all of a sudden they, you know.
Why? Why do you think the youth look up to
Because
somebody
like what
who's
you were
been
saying-
through, someone who's been to jail and lived a life, rather than looking up to the imams or scholars or people that
This,
do you get
that's
what I
who
mean?
you're supposed to look up to. This
Yeah.
is my point. That's what I'm getting at. It's like people seem to listen to these, you know, ex-gangsters or whatever they want to call themselves, instead of the real scholars, the ones that have devoted their life into, you know, studying Islam. They should be the ones that you get your message through, not someone who just, you know.
So do you think these people should be directing these people towards the scholars?
Yeah. If you're gonna
But
talk
then
about,
they still gotta do what they're doing though, because it's got people listening.
They've got
there's
a platform.
there's a
as
right
such,
way
innit?
of doing it.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
a right
yeah.
way
Why
of
do
doing
they
it.
need the community's acceptance though?
Oh no,
That's what I don't get.
no, you do though, innit?
Nah.
Because when you're trying to change yourself, I'm not saying you need acceptance from the community like that. Let me say what I'm saying, and it might make sense. But if you're trying to make a change and you've gone out from being who you were to trying to become who you are now, yeah. let me land. Then the people that you are supposed to be standing side by side in Salah, the people that you are talking to in the masjid, the youth that you are trying to get into the right path, or not necessarily into the right path, that should be for them to guide to the scholars, but taking them off the path of the roadman lifestyle. There's a difference. There's one trying to get them into the path of Islam, right? And doing what scholars are doing or sheikhs are doing, that sort of stuff. And there's one trying to stop them from going into the roadman life. There's a difference between the two.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they can do the latter a lot better than sheikhs and Molvis, because there are people that are respecting these guys for whatever reason a lot more than they're respecting the sheikhs and the scholars for whatever it is, yeah? And I think there's a lot of people in our community, especially, I see a lot of people that do a very good job of not necessarily preaching Islam, but trying to get the kids off the streets.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's people that are opening youth centers. There are people that are opening their own gyms, that sort of stuff. There's people that are actively doing work.
Yeah.
And then even when they're doing charity work and that sort of stuff, and we did a whole video on charity for clout. Them people are not people that are doing charity for clout. What they're doing is they're trying to get the kids off the streets to understand that where the money is going to and what they're working towards and what they should be working towards in life. So that isn't necessarily pushing someone towards Islam. Does that make sense?
No, I get that. But what I was saying was, as an individual, if you've changed, my opinion is they shouldn't be thinking or worrying about the community if they're going to accept me or not. I don't think. I don't think
True
they should
change
worry
is
about that.
That is, you know, if you really are, you don't worry about, you worry
Anything
about
else?
what's inside.
It's you and Allah, bro. That's
Exactly.
So-
exactly.
At the end of the day.
I understand where you're coming from. So
And
do you
that
think...
respect
Allah
will give you that respect.
Of
Yeah,
course, of
100%.
course.
You know what I mean?
Of
People
course,
will
of
see that.
Yeah, you don't.
So do you think communities and even South Asian households, right? Do you think they are somewhat responsible or are the reason why kids get pushed towards a certain lifestyle?
I think they add pressures for sure. Now, for example, I'm not saying this validates why someone would do it, but then in terms of like financial expectations, so if you're getting pressures from a certain family or a household and someone's making a 9 to 5 or whatever it is and they're not earning what someone else is, next man is, and he's always been brought up in the household like, oh, such and such is person making this, work on you.
Is that
Yeah,
comparison?
Yeah.
It's that comparison, innit? It's common in some households, but then obviously maybe they see it as a get rich quick scheme.
Yeah.
And then they don't really care at that point. They don't really care about what's to fall back from it. They look at the financing side of things.
And the
Do you-
comparison kills a lot of people as well. Like, bro,
we
like,
know
you know, when you hear that, like, oh, you know, you're not doing this, but that guy's doing this, and the dil mari jana, you know what I
We
mean?
know that though. We know where we've been given comparisons of certain individuals, and we're like,
Yo,
bro,
we
you
know the
don't
truth.
know.
yeah,
you
yeah,
don't
exactly,
know.
exactly.
And don't you think, another sort of segment of it, don't you think that when the lads or whatever, when they are on the streets, they bring in money home, that there's not enough questioning on where that money is coming from?
Yeah.
No.
If they are making it, the parents or whoever, they ignore the fact that, yo, he ain't doing no 9 to 5. He ain't, you know what I mean? Whatever he's-
that becomes like a form of encouragement as well, don't it?
Yeah.
Exactly, because
Like,
it's not being questioned. It's like, yo,
It's calm.
it's coming home. That's it. It's all good.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
Just
mean?
give me my
definitely.
coat. We're
Yeah,
good.
that's it. Yeah,
That's it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So these lads, you know, they're keeping whoever's at home happy, and you know, they're
yeah.
feeding the streets. At the
No
same-
more dal. It's ghosts every day now.
Yeah, so no, I get where you're coming from, and it's a problem, isn't it, in our society, in our communities, where there seems to be a blind eye
Yeah.
towards certain actions, because it's not necessarily they're gonna come home and give the money to the family and be like, yo, there you go. It's also the change in attire. You know, all of a sudden the expensive clothes are coming out.
Yeah.
You know, the chains are coming out. That you know, the car,
Nice
all of
car,
that. No
whatnot.
more, no more asking for money. No more all of that. That's sudden change without an actual job.
Yeah.
That's question marks. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
And
But then also you get them people that have done it the right way, that have made their money and everything like that. Then you get certain individuals saying, "Yeah, I think he's into
Yeah,
something
yeah,
shady."
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
They
mean?
know they've
And
done
then-
it themselves.
Yeah.
know?
They're like, "Oh yeah. No chance he's made it like that." Yeah, definitely.
that's
Something
just
else is going
human
on.
nature. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah,
We like to ignore ourselves and look
Yeah.
at other people and see why they're doing so good. But based on what you were just saying on the fact that they look at somebody else and they say he's made the money, do you think that money is the reason why a lot of things get blindsided, ignored, encouraged, and pushed towards that lifestyle? It's all money oriented.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
respe-
definitely.
I know you guys have mentioned respect. You guys have mentioned, you know, feeling like they need to belong somewhere. But money is the root of all,
Root to
isn't
all
it?
evil.
Yeah,
Root
yeah,
to
yeah,
all
yeah.
evil. That's who said that about Marley. Money is the root to all evil.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so probably it's a fact. You know what I mean? Everything's it's money.
But money is a necessity in the dunya as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
isn't
It
it?
is,
definitely.
but obviously, you know, greed is different, and you have to have money to put food on the table.
Mhm.
You know,
Don't chase dunya, bro. Let dunya chase you.
Yo, chase.
So do you think, like, I had a note here, and it goes well with what we were saying, where the fear of being judged and exposed stops people from seeking the proper support that they need. Because even though there are people that are living that lifestyle, right? And roadman lifestyle, we're not talking about just like selling, dealing drugs. We're talking about like the crimes that they commit as well. You know, there's robbery, beating people up, you know, all that sort of stuff. Everything comes into this, innit? It's like walking on the streets, you know, like you own the streets. That's what it is, isn't it? So do you think that there's some people that might want to get out of that life and try to live a different lifestyle, but they're afraid of judgment or afraid of being exposed or being called a coward or that sort of stuff? Do you think that plays a part of stopping these young people from trying to transition over to the other side?
Yeah, definitely. I think once obviously you kind of make a rep or build a rep, or even if you're associated by so many people, to step away from that circle isn't going to be so easy, especially when that becomes like your day to day, innit?
Yeah.
And it's like it'll get to a point where you might need to. These people might feel like their loyalties will be questions as to where do your loyalties lie with these people that you've been protecting or been rolling with like for such a long period of time. Now all of a sudden like you've come through to like a new person that is the right path, but then you feel like, even though you morally feel like that's the right thing to do, but then if you feel like those are my boys, I need to back them,
Yeah.
where would you go? That's where they
Because
obviously.
it's not just leaving money behind, is it? It's you leaving people behind.
Yeah.
You know, because if you're changing, you've made a whole group of friends that you probably trust, that you've been through stuff together, you know, and then all of a sudden, because you want to get out, you got to leave them people behind, because let's be honest, it's very hard to, you know, be in a circle where everyone's doing one thing and you are not, you know. So I think that's what it is. That
But if you feel like, I mean, we are firm believers of, and I think I can speak for all of you guys, but we are firm believers of your circle, your close circle, are like-minded people.
Yeah.
Or people that have similar thought process or similar principles to what you already have, which is why you get along so well, and that's why you've got that circle. So do you think if that person is thinking that I don't want to leave my boys there and go do my separate thing, do you think them they are boys, they are your boys? Do you think that you think you
no, but
belong
we would
there
look
in
at
the
that.
first place?
We would look at it as, yo, them man, they're on a madness, so they aren't really your boys. But someone
Exactly,
that's been
yeah,
through so much
Yeah.
stuff with that group, it's hard for them to just switch off and be like, yo, allow these
Yeah, but
guys.
we
Yeah,
can
but
easily-
then at what point would change come into it then? Because you need that one person or two people to make that step, to be like, yo, we need to leave this lifestyle. But if you're gonna restrict yourself as such, thinking that we need to carry on with this, then you're never gonna make that change, are you?
Where do you think the change should come from?
Change, in my
it's-
opinion, you shouldn't even get to that anyway. But like, change should. To be, it's hard to say.
Or how
without-
how can the
how-
change come? You know, where it can come from, how it can come from. That you know, what can be done to help? Because of that age as well, 14, 13, nowadays 12, 13 as well. Do you know what I mean? 12, 13, 14, all the way up to like till you're like 21, 22, 23. If you're living a certain lifestyle, it's very difficult to get back out of it, then, right?
Yeah.
Because you're sucked into that lifestyle now, right? So how do you guys think that you could get that
change
change?
obviously always comes from within, innit? It comes from the person itself. But then it's
there's
who
all the
you-
things that are stopping you,
yeah,
like
but
you just
yeah,
mentioned.
like your friends. Obviously, we would say like they're not really your friends, though, innit? But like you mentioned, you've grown up with them and
Day
everything
ones.
like that. But at the end of the day, it's all about tawakkul as well. You know what I mean? If you really want to change, your heart set. If they're your boys, they'll say to you,
support you, yeah.
they'll support you. Okay, and then maybe you're the example that'll drag them out of that as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
So-
that's the hope.
But what can be done, right? And obviously we aren't people that go out and do these kind of things anyway, yeah. But maybe inshallah one day. No, I'm not. No, I'm talking about the people that help the community. I'm saying that's what I mean. But what I'm saying is like what can be put in place, what can be done, what that to give people like that who are in limbo, that 50-50, like is this lifestyle for me?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? How can you get them people to then go into something else and
This is where I think all these kind of clubs.
I was
youth
just going to say
centres,
that as well.
That's
Yeah.
why they play such a big importance, because obviously they're taking them off the streets, whilst this time would be spent obviously doing other things where
yeah.
basically living this roadman
It's,
lifestyle.
again, we mentioned people like Shabazz, people like him. You
Yeah.
know, it's like do something. You know,
Dedicate
you-
yourself to
yeah.
something that you know is going to take over your life, where you'll be closed off from
Yeah.
any distractions as such. Boxing's that kind of sport anyway,
Yeah.
where if you have got that kind of, if you're always into fighting or whatever it
You
is,
vent
go-
your anger in a certain way as
Exactly.
well. And that, obviously, we're not going to mention any names, but we know people that run these kind of centers as well. You know what I mean?
No, you can name
Yeah.
them. innit?
Yeah,
There's no
Keefi's one.
Keefe,
Keefe,
yeah, 'cause
and his brother as well.
We're from Stoke-on-Trent,
Yeah.
right? So obviously for us, it's people that we see
Yeah.
do these kind of things, and Keefe is
Keefe is
yeah,
a
yeah.
prime, a very good example as well.
Naki,
Yeah.
Naki does it, man.
Yeah.
Naki has kids grappling and whatnot. A lot of
Yeah.
people look up to people like Habib Islam
Yeah,
these
yeah,
days,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and he's doing his thing
Naki,
with the
so-
grappling and whatnot.
So the gym I go to, Coliseum, and Naki goes to
Yeah.
the gym, and these guys, Naki and Mark, both of them have recently started going to schools
Yeah.
and talking to like the kids that like extreme and like
Yeah,
messing
yeah.
around all that, and they started getting them coming into their gym.
That's good.
That's good, man.
And they did that
That's-
whole take the knife,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
knives
Yeah,
off
yeah.
the
Yeah, yeah.
streets kind of thing. They did that whole campaign as well. So yeah, like people like that. There are people out there that are doing their part, innit? And that's basically the answer.
Yeah, yeah,
innit?
yeah.
Like where you need more people encouraging them to come out of that life and know that there's something else. And based on what you guys are saying as well, like the boxing, the grappling, the MMA, I think these kind of people need that kind of stuff as well, because it's
A lot of the stories you hear from a boxer, from people that are in combat sport, are these, you know,
Yeah.
the
That
fact
was my lifestyle.
was the way out, you know.
Yeah, if I
Anthony
didn't
Joshua.
choose boxing, I'd be dead. I'd
Yeah,
be
yeah.
locked up.
It's a
That's
common
what they say.
story.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
common story, man. People that are struggling,
yeah.
you know, they come into things like boxing and whatnot, and then they stick at it.
So do you think, like, so you mentioned Keefe, you mentioned Nucky, both of these guys from Stoke-on-Trent. Do you think there should be more people joining with these guys like us? Like, you know, obviously it's all right for us here to talk about things, but do you think like people like us, normal public people, should be joining with these guys to help them to reach out to more people?
Definitely.
Get
Yeah,
more
yeah.
exposure.
Yeah,
and-
definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I think this, if anything, the conversation's been had. It's out there. So obviously, maybe someone's watching this that is in this position right now where they're thinking like, yo, this lifestyle isn't good for me. I
Yeah.
need to get out of this. How do I get out of this? And maybe this is the platform that
Yeah.
they could just reach out to me. I'm not saying
Right.
obviously we'll have all the answers, but obviously we can do.
There's
our
always
bit, innit?
someone out there ready
Yeah,
to
yeah,
help
yeah.
as well. Like and I think that's where they think like, oh, you know what? If I do get out of this lifestyle, who is there to help me? Who can guide me and stuff like? Because everyone obviously needs that person that they can trust, who they can open up to as well. Yo, look, I've been through this in my life, like, but I want to get away from it. So they need to find that right person.
It's
the
fear,
right
though,
people,
innit?
yeah.
I feel like fear is what holds a lot of these people back from getting out of that lifestyle.
Yeah.
It could also be blackmailing and stuff like that. You know, they could be blackmailed.
There
by
could
the
be. There's
people-
obviously that.
Yeah.
could
yeah,
be
yeah,
more.
by the people that they've
It's
been
a hierarchy,
associated with.
innit?
Yeah.
Again, the rep thing depends where you are
Yeah.
on the streets, innit? So
But if they did transition over, or they were trying to transition over, what do you think would be more difficult? The lifestyle that they've lived, or like the money and everything? Do you get what I mean? It's two different things. Isn't it? Lifestyle, obviously, the lifestyle is connected to the money, but living that certain lifestyle or having that sort of money
I
and
think
transition, what's more difficult, innit?
obviously we've not lived that life, but I think people that are on the streets, I think they have a lot more freedom for them to go into a normal 9 to 5 or something like that.
It would be
It
difficult.
would be very hard, and
Yeah,
imagine
yeah.
you know waking up when you want, doing whatever, and then from that, then having to wake up early in the morning to go work and whatnot.
Yeah,
I think that's a
especially when you look at the money side of things, yeah.
Yeah,
If
and
you're
then
going
you-
from any like 2K a week or a grand a week, yeah, and then you work a 9 to 5, you make like £500 a week.
Yeah.
That's not going to be satisfying for them, maybe.
It isn't, but based on what you said earlier on, if they're trying to escape that life now and they're trying to set up and trying to live a different life, and 9 to 5 isn't for them, and for them they're thinking my way out is if I open my own business.
yeah, but
right?
you can't.
But then
remember, you can't use that, money.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You
That's
can't
the
use
part
that
that I'm
money,
saying.
bro, but
So you're
that's why-
basically saying you gotta start from zero.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah, you
100%.
gotta literally give up that money, give
Yeah,
up everything.
facts.
Can't use that as a stepping stone
No,
to get
no,
into that
No.
that lifestyle that you want to do.
Yeah.
There's that's difficult.
That's
innit?
difficult,
That's
innit?
difficult.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
would be difficult. Just even though we haven't lived that lifestyle, just talking about it, like if you've lived your entire life of however you're 22 years old, yeah. So if you live 6 years of that, that's your 6 years of your prime life living a certain lifestyle. And then you've got the money, you living
yeah.
that easy life of carefree. I can do what I want when I want, that sort of stuff. And then that it's a difficult
Yes, it
transition. It's a
is, it is,
difficult
it is.
transition, isn't it?
That's why you shouldn't get into that life in the first place.
Yeah.
innit?
Yeah.
And there needs to be a lot more that needs to be done from, and I'm not going to say South Asia. I'm going to say the Muslim community. I think Muslims in general and as a community, they need to get together themselves and work hand in hand
Yeah.
with each other. Like the masjids can easily people connect and work with the people like Kifi. Do you know what I mean? They can work hand in hand if they had the right people representing and walking around and bringing the youth together. I think. Do you think the postcode wars as well? Like we had that as well. Shelton, Longton, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think that plays in hand as well? Like when you're growing up, because you get told that from the
Yeah, yeah.
elders. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
we
yeah.
don't get on with them,
Yeah.
bro. Like
I think that's just a phase, innit? That's just a phase. When we were in college and stuff,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
all about that. But I think
And that's what I'm saying. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Anyway, after a few certain years go by, you see them same people, bro. You shaking your hands, you're
Yeah,
laughing
yeah,
and joking with them same
exactly,
people
yeah.
like nothing ever happened. And then you thinking like, yo, why
It's
did
stupid.
I even
Yeah.
have
It does-
a
it
problem
makes
with this
no
guy in the
sense.
first
but
place?
it's exactly, you hit the nail on the head. It's come from the elders.
Yeah.
You heard, it's not all I see. Yeah,
Yeah,
back in
yeah,
the days,
yeah.
like he jumped in and then he jumped in and then that's it. Yeah, Shelton, Longton don't like each other. Cobridge and Longton and Shelton are brothers.
Yes,
That
so
flipping
Postcode war, innit?
Yeah, that's it, man.
Postcode wars. Do you think that plays a big hand in directing these people, or not a big hand, but any sort of hand that directs them towards that lifestyle? Does that play a part? Do you think?
I think it
It's-
does.
I
as
think
well.
that does because it sort of becomes that gang mentality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you
Goes
know,
back
all,
to the loyalty. These are my people.
yeah.
That's what
I
it is.
also think like, look, stuff like that, what Keefe does, yeah, when he gets all the youngsters and then he does them charity boxing events.
Yeah.
I guarantee there are some people out there from, let's say where we live in Longton and thinking, oh, you know what, they're all Sheltoners, we can
Yeah,
go
yeah.
down there. Like,
Yeah,
no, the
facts,
Sheltoners, we
facts.
don't
But
get
isn't
along with
that
them.
part of the problem, though?
Yeah, yeah.
Why
100%, it is.
why the
100%,
youth
yeah.
are the way they are? Because people in one postcode are not reaching out to work with people in another postcode to try to bring the community
yeah, yeah.
together as one. Do you know what I mean? There's too much of a divide there. There's
Yeah,
too
yeah.
much of just people like us, for example, and our generation who've got kids. They should know that I'm all right with them people. All right in the sense that Islam, dua, and we
Yeah,
see
yeah,
each
yeah.
other. There's no animosity towards
Yeah,
each
yeah,
other.
100%.
We're on good enough terms that we can have a brief chat, conversation,
Yeah.
and move on. So they should surely think, you know what, if my kids are gonna go towards Cobridge, Shelton, whatever, that sort of stuff, or coming towards Longton and working with these kind of people, it should be okay because
Yeah.
my kids need to know these guys are Muslim brothers and sisters, and it's okay to mingle with these guys.
This is what Gore laugh at us. They're like, what do they always say? Oh, they say Islam, everyone should be one and be together and everything like that. Look at these guys, bro. They can't even pray together.
Obviously,
know what I
and
mean?
we're not putting all of Islam in this, but we're talking about our community.
Yeah, yeah,
innit?
yeah.
And that how can somebody? I mean, obviously, we just nobodies, and there's nothing that we can do right now that'll change it. I'm just asking for your opinions on what you think. Maybe somebody from the masjid
You
might
know
watch
what?
this.
When
Do you know what I mean? And
nobody
think,
speak for yourself, me, I got a few fans.
no, but I'm saying like maybe somebody from the masjid committees and all that sort of stuff, they might watch this and think, you know what, they're right. There needs to be something that needs to be implemented here, and they might reach out to somebody else like Kifi or Naki or even like the likes of Mark and good of you, and
Yeah.
there's other people that you can work together to get them off the streets, bro.
Definitely not our
But-
committee, but there are committees
But
out there.
what can be done though? Like how do you think that can be? Is there anything that can be done, or do you think that egos are too big for people to take certain stands or make certain moves? Do you
I think
e-
definitely more can be done, but do I believe that it would completely wipe out this whole roadman culture? No, because obviously
No, of
the
course. not.
the financial aspect of it will always be there, and the reputation side of things. So for people, it'll be like you can, even if more is done, there might be maybe, I don't know, if you're talking percentage, 10, 20, 30 max, in my opinion. 30% of people that are on this, obviously, gang culture, yeah, they might be more open or swayed to that. And then I think those would be only the people that are just starting off, maybe, so they haven't seen the full aspect or lived that life as such. So they'd be more open to it. But the people that have been doing it for years, it'll be a lot harder for them, unless it's got to come from within. Goes back to that point. So if they're not ready themselves internally to take that step, no matter what is out there, I don't think they will until they have no choice. For example, if they're locked up or they're coming out, and then it's ultimate. You know,
ultimately?
yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, if that's been said to them from, I don't know, someone that actually means something to them, then that might cause a change from them.
That's human nature as well,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it? Like a lot of the times we can't change bad habits based on what somebody's telling us until we decide ourselves
It's a
Yeah.
fact. 100%.
that, you know what, now is the time. And sometimes you need that scare, that incident that happens, which then pushes you towards that. Do you know what I mean?
Sometimes even banging on about someone keep telling you this, that, or change this, that, this. Sometimes that puts you off changing. You're like, no, bro, leave me alone, kind of thing.
It
You know?
becomes a broken record, innit? It's
Yeah.
like-
So yeah, it gets
Does
annoying.
that bring like a rebellious side?
Exactly.
Yeah, for some
exactly.
people,
Yeah. So yeah, basically what you're saying. So they start rebelling, and until they don't go through an experience or whatever themselves, you know, they won't change.
Yeah,
know,
until shit hits the fan, it's just gonna be an empty threat.
Because
in their
like we say,
eyes.
there's probably not enough people, whatever, doing certain things to get lads off the street. But then they know where they can go
Yeah.
to you know, get out of that lifestyle. You know, until they don't want to themselves, it's very hard for
Yeah. I
someone
mean,
to.
the gang culture is always going to be
It's
there.
everything. Like it's not a hidden culture, is it? Like we've never been in the lifestyle in that lifestyle, but we know what goes on. You know, you don't need to be in it to know what's happening.
And when
you
we
know?
were growing up, there wasn't that social media.
It wasn't.
That wasn't that big of
Today
an
there is-
influence there is
today
nowadays.
there's
Yeah.
everything. You know, you watch, like you said, things like Top Boy. You watch, you know,
Power.
you listen to music and
Oh,
whatnot.
power, bro.
Yeah, these kind of things. It's there. It shows you this is the lifestyle, and people watch that and people like it. You know, yeah.
And
so
all it
it's-
takes is that first payment, innit?
Yeah.
When you get that cash in hand and you think, yo, I can buy this, I can buy this, I can
Yeah,
like, yo,
100%.
that's all I had to do. That's literally all I had to
Yeah,
do. Yo,
facts,
that's
facts.
sick. That's what it is.
But
Like,
living that lifestyle, constantly looking over your shoulder as well.
it is for somebody. For
yeah.
some
Yeah,
people
no.
it isn't, but some people
No,
live off the thrill, innit?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
exactly.
thrive off it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
an addiction.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
These same people probably, there's a lot of people that probably sell drugs that don't take them themselves. The
Yeah.
thrill is in selling it, in watching over your shoulder.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? Is there any sort of like, once again, we nobody's for this, but just in general, if you had to give advice to these people, either to the people that are going into it or the people that want to escape it but aren't escaping, is there any sort of advice that you want to give them one at a time?
Definitely, I think like, look, if you're trying to get out of that, don't think there's nothing out there or no one out there that that you can reach out to. Like, for example, again, I'll mention it again. People like Kifi, who will understand young lad as well. You know what I mean? He gets along with all of the youth, and you can speak to people like that. There'll be someone in your community that is doing something good.
There's
Yeah.
and there's certain people that know how to handle these kind of people.
Yeah.
There's some people, because this is another issue. I'm gonna stop. Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
there,
no,
man.
it's
But
fine.
based on what you were saying, that there's some people that when somebody reaches out, they don't know how to deal with it, so they push them back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that becomes a problem. If you don't know how to deal with somebody or what they're saying or with the situation, guide them to somebody who can. Don't throw you back in their face kind of thing just
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
you felt your pride's been hurt or your ego has been hurt because you don't know how to answer that question or you don't know how to help them. You just like, and then you get defensive yourself kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, why is this person even asking? That's haram anyway. Do you get what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
things like that start being said. Don't do that. Guide them to the right people, innit? That,
Yeah,
that-
100%.
like you say.
Facts, I totally agree with that as well, man.
But sometimes some people don't like to hear the truth, innit? You know, if you want to change and somebody's telling you what you have done is wrong, that shouldn't put you off changing because they're telling you the truth, innit?
I don't think that-
And I
that-
think that is today's people don't like to be told they're wrong, whether they are.
Then I don't think that person is ready for change.
They're
Then
not
if you're not,
exactly.
yeah, if
But
you're
is
not
it
ready
You
to
are
change,
only ready, like you said, within.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
is
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, you
Yeah.
know, some people will say, oh, like you'll have a conversation with your,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I need to stop doing this. I need to.
Yeah.
But in reality, they don't want to stop you, bro.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
facts.
Yeah, but do you think, like you said, people saying what you're doing is wrong? They're saying what you're doing is wrong, and then they're saying, you know what, it's bad, but you can get past it.
Yeah.
Rephrasing
Yeah,
the
yeah,
whole
yeah,
thing
yeah,
is a
yeah.
whole different thing now. You've that person, you're telling
Yeah,
them
but
you
they
were
know
wrong
it's
is
wrong.
one
No,
thing.
no, they know it's
Which
wrong.
obviously
You know,
that's
some,
right.
no, no.
So
What
if
my
an-
point by that, sorry, because let me just quick. My point by that is it's like some people don't like to hear certain aspects of it, like what we were just saying. It's
Yeah.
like, listen, bruv, you want to change, you know that all that stash you got under
Yeah,
your bed,
yeah.
bruv, you got to get rid of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You got to tell them the truth. You know what I mean? But there's some people that say, oh, no, it's, you know, sort of, but then you're sort of not giving them the right message.
Yeah, exactly.
Then after that, whatever that person does, they will think, you know what, TK, I've still got the peas. I can still go And but in reality, bro, all that money they spend, whether they do charity, it's haram, bro.
Exactly.
That money
They
doesn't count for
probably think,
nothing anymore.
Bismillah, mari, pook, mari. That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. So go on.
Or do you think that's putting some people off change? Because
Tough shit, bro.
they
This is
already,
the problem of today's society, bro.
they
People don't
already
like-
know what they're doing is wrong, but it's that if they're coming to someone for help, they don't want to sit there and be judged. They already know what they're doing that's wrong. They
But
want
then
that
at that
person's
point,
help.
people should don't you think at that point the person that they're talking to, the person that they're reaching out, I get that you're saying that the person that is asking these questions is seeking guidance, is not already knows he's wrong. But don't you think the person who they're seeking guidance from should weigh that or
Yeah, yeah.
do it in a way that it doesn't hurt their ego?
Yeah. So that person that they go to
Innit?
should not judge or anything like that.
Yeah.
And if that person is judging that person, you're going to the wrong person.
Bro,
But what's
First of all,
judging though?
who-
What's judging?
Yeah, whatever.
Nobody's coming
Deep
to you.
down, like,
Nobody's gonna say that.
No,
Nobody's-
they're thinking that they go.
Sometimes judging isn't actually judging, but it's in the tone.
Yeah.
It's in the tone of how you're doing it because you're sounding condescending. Do you know what I mean? Like the tone, the phrases, the words, everything.
Body language.
One wrong
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
can direct that person back
Yeah,
to that
yeah.
life.
100%.
Push it back and be like, you know what? I try, bro.
Yeah.
This person say to me, no redemption for you, bro. There's no redemption
Yeah.
for me. Allow it. I'm going back.
Yeah, it's almost as if they're waiting for that person to slip up and be like, I told you so.
Yeah.
It's never
It's
changed.
that
Yeah,
weird.
yeah.
And
that-
just
I
because-
told
that
you
makes
so.
sense, that
Yeah.
makes
And
sense.
just because they've got a question mark in the back of their mind whether they should do it or not, doesn't mean that the person who's stating the obvious is doing the right thing by doing that. Because
Yeah.
you're just pushing them into that direction. Bro, that person might be in limbo at that point even, right? Where they don't know whether they want to leave the life. They don't know whether they can leave the life. So they've gone to seek advice and guidance. Bro, your job is not, bro, we as humans, as individuals, are nobody to judge anybody else
Yeah.
because we have our own baggage.
Yeah.
We have our own sins that we got to deal with
That's
on
why,
a
like,
day-to-day.
it goes back to changes within.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you are sincere about changing, then things like if you are in limbo and somebody says something that you feel like is condescending, whatever, just looking for an excuse not to.
Yeah, you gotta be
but-
caught.
No, I
Yeah.
get but what you say. I get what you're saying, right? Because we all know
Because
that.
that's what they
until-
do, and they go back. Oh, I tried. I went to the masjid. The man said
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
No,
Bro,
but that-
you never wanted to change in
Yeah,
reality.
exactly,
bro.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I get what you're saying with that, where obviously they don't. You're saying they don't want to change, but that I don't want to. You're saying that they don't want to change has come from the fact that they've gone and asked somebody. You know, if that person who they seek advice,
he could have said whatever, and that person would have said no.
No.
You know what I mean?
That's where I disagree. I think that person is in that situation where they need an excuse to say, I tried. Don't get me wrong. Why give them that excuse? If you can't deal with that person, say, bro, I'm the wrong person for you. I know somebody who
Yeah,
can
but then,
help you.
But then that person might turn around and say, "Jal, I went to one person."
Exactly.
You
But
didn't-
that's different though.
Yeah.
But that's
No, but it's-
different though.
That's why it's
That's
two different people. So what he's on about is like a certain type of people.
Yeah.
And then what you're on about is a certain
Obviously, not
kind of people
everyone.
as well.
innit?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
everyone. Some
Definitely.
people will be able to take it on the chin. Like I said, that's when they're sincere about changing. Nothing that somebody would, because some people will, and it's like, by too far again. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like goes back to that story of that guy that I think it's a hadith here. The guy that killed 99 people.
Yeah.
Where killed 99 people, went to a Molvi. Yeah, he goes, I've just killed 99 people. I've killed 99 people. and
You're
whatnot.
paraphrasing it.
Yeah. Obviously, it's in Arabic. But I can't speak Arabic.
No, but sometimes
No,
people like, oh,
it's
he's
like
misquoting.
yeah,
or
so
whatever.
it's like he went to a scholar, Molvi, whatever, and he goes to him, yo, I killed 99 people. Will I ever be forgiven? Molvi goes, tu nangi again, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're going to hell.
yeah.
Who's Allah, but they killed him as well. And they went to another guy and whatnot, and they said, look, Allah's all forgiving, you know. And
But that's the proof
and then
of
the
words,
guy,
isn't
no,
it?
the story was, sorry, the guy was going to the next person, and he died as he was getting to the next person to ask him or whatnot. And the fresh there obviously were like, yo, is he going heaven, hell kind of thing?
Yeah.
Again, like I said, paraphrasing, and then they said, you know what we'll do? Measure from where he killed the last guy
Yeah.
to where he's going.
distance,
If
yeah,
he's closer
yeah,
to
yeah.
to the guy he's killed,
He's going hellfire.
he's going
yeah,
he's closer to the
And he was
when he's
closer,
seeking
wasn't he?
advice. He was closer, I think, to the guy he's killed, and then Allah's moved the earth, and then they measured it again, and he was closer. Allah's forgive him, forgive him.
So,
innit? But yeah,
so that,
So,
that
I mean, it's sort
obviously
of what you-
it's
yeah.
weird, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
weird that that whole story you got there. That if the Molvi, that person, first person who went to advice, worded it differently, it's a different
no,
outcome.
he just Rago said to him to Nangi.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Different wording,
Yeah.
or just trying to guide them, it's a whole different outcome.
Yeah.
My point here is there's a lot of, I think we should be looking for that little glimpse from these kind of people, from the young youth, the people that are living that life, but then every now and again you see them in the masjid reading namaz, or you're doing something. That means there's still light in them. There's still that thing that they've got there, and it just needs to be the right person that
Them young
that
lads
helps
need
them.
to know is when they're doing these actions, every time they do that action, if they don't have that guilty feeling,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
they
yeah.
don't
Fade
have
away,
that,
yeah.
the day they don't have that guilty feeling,
Then like that guy.
that's
We-
when
we-
you're too far. Now you need to really.
We spoke about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Everybody said alhamdulillah for us was that thing that guilt was always there,
Always there.
with whatever
Always there,
it
whatever
was.
we
We
did,
had
yeah.
that thing. We
The day that guilt goes, then you're like,
the day that guilt goes, then you know that there's no
Yeah.
turning. You're too far gone.
Yeah,
Yeah, there is turning back, but you're too far gone. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
gonna be a battle to come back. So that's the youth innit? And once again, big up Shabazz Maverick. I think in our area in Stoke-on-Trent, there are people like Shabazz that are trying to achieve things that we, when we were young, could only see on TV, on other people, and thinking is unachievable. I think Shabazz is a great example for the youth to look up to and think, a young lad chose this lifestyle, chose to be dedicated, chose to be disciplined, chose to go on a path that in our area from the South Asia community, they haven't done as such. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there is always something there for you. There's always someone there for you. You just have to reach out yourself. Is there a thing where the people should think, what are you going to be remembered for? If you were to go today, right? And obviously we don't know if we're going to take the next breath. That's just how life is, isn't it? If would that help people to look at it in a different way, where how do you want to be remembered by the people that are around you, people that know you? Because once people pass away, a lot of the time people start saying good things about people that passed away that they didn't even like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's just the nature of people, how it is, isn't it? But that's the first thing. The first question is, do you think that is a thing that could, trying to get them to look at things in that way and try to see if that answer might be wrong, though, innit? I'm just answering myself right now.
No.
They might turn around and say, I want to be remembered as the gangster, the G, the bad
No,
man
it's true,
of
it's true.
the
Those are too far
streets,
gone.
innit?
Yeah.
That is what they are living for, a reputation.
Yeah.
Like we were saying, as well as money, there's that rep.
Yeah.
So sure, they're probably in their mind is like, when I do go, people are gonna remember me. Or this guy was tough. Or this guy, he was a G, whatnot. So yeah, that is a thing.
Yeah, some of them be like, they don't speak ill of the dead anyway.
Yeah. Or
No
some
matter
like,
what I do,
"Oh,
I'm a nice
nobody
guy."
get. One of them ones.
Bu jangan mula sih.
What do you should I be?
Am I leaving that in?
That's calm, man. No, bro. There's a deeper meaning to that, bro.
Yo,
To be honest.
So bringing me on to the last question of this podcast. Do you think, is there anything that you think you would want to be remembered for or remembered by? Do you think if tomorrow, today you passed away, is there anything that you want to be remembered for? This person was like this, or is there anything like that you've ever thought about it? Or
To be fair, I actually have.
Yeah.
For me, it's been like, I hope that I've put a smile on people's faces. You know what I mean? Yeah. Obviously, with you, it's okay because I know I got that from you. Yeah. From all of us, it's okay. Is that leaking again?
Go on, carry on.
Yeah. I actually think like I put a smile on someone's face as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
You want to be remembered as this guy was
The
this
class
guy
clown.
no,
not
not
necessarily
like,
class
oh,
clown.
he's funny or you know what that was. Yeah.
Yeah, don't be that guy, bro. Let him, bro. Very rarely,
serious,
I know,
serious,
very
bro.
serious. I know, and then you just go break it, man. Children everywhere. Cause, man. No, you want to be remembered as this guy could put a smile on anyone's face.
Yeah.
Not clown, not all that sort of stuff, but in a way,
said
that's
that?
the personality he had.
Yeah.
But
and-
that he was that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
person
yeah.
that you could sit with him and automatically
Lift
lift
up
a
the
smile
room
and
and-
feel
Yeah,
lighting.
yeah, yeah.
Carry
yeah.
on, carry on.
and
The
then,
heart of
like,
the
just
room.
like
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, like I'm easy to talk to get along with as well. You know what I mean? Like that's about it. To be fair.
So
with you.
so before we go on to tea, do you think right now, based off as of now, do you think that is a perception that people have of you? Do you think you're there, or do you think you need to work towards it? It's a good. Obviously, it's one thing having
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
knowing
Yeah, yeah. You
knowing
think-
where you're at with that.
I think it depends on the individual as well. I think.
No, but do you think you are doing what you want to do to have that perception of?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah?
That's not me being big headed.
No.
I honestly think
It's
so.
not
yeah.
being
Yeah,
big
yeah.
headed. It's who you are.
I
as a
honestly
person.
think yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's
Seriously.
a clown anyway. Just ignore him.
It's okay.
What the hell, bro?
Anyway, so I was thinking, let's be
serious,
serious,
man.
man.
No,
Yeah.
it's not, man.
Stop laughing,
He's
man.
not used to me
He
being
just backing
serious.
his point, man. That he just put smile on people's face, so he
That's
just
it, man.
doing it for the
Making his
yeah.
point stronger, man.
Exactly.
Right. Who's next?
Your turn.
I got you, man.
Your turn.
I think for me, it's not something I've thought about, if I'm honest with you,
Yeah.
because I kind of keep myself to myself anyway, so I don't think people know me like that, and I only show certain sides of me anyway.
So he
Size.
just got he's a mystery, innit? That's what he
Yeah,
wants
so
to
people don't
remain.
know me, so I don't expect them to have a perception about, or like a kind of view of the real me anyway. So
And I think we spoke about that as of when we started the podcast. where
yeah,
we're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
just this podcast alone will
see
be showing
more-
you a different
yeah,
side
yeah,
of
yeah.
si-
So
side
I
of
think
you.
for me, I'd probably say, as long like my intentions and my heart, because I believe I've not like I
Wronged
try to live my life where I don't wrong anyone
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
Now, for me, same as what A said, I've never really thought about how I would be remembered or anything. Never deep tea like that.
Mm.
But yeah, I'd like to think I was good to someone who was good to me, you know? So it's just treat people how you like to be treated.
Mhm.
Feel like I do try to live my life by that. But other than that, like I said, I've never deep tea like that.
Yeah.
You, I know for a fact. I know you've thought about it. And
I haven't, you know.
No.
Not like that. Not deeply like that. And for me, I think, you know, every time someone does pass away,
Yeah.
right, you start thinking in it because you start hearing things being said about the person, and sometimes you hear somebody say something like, "Bro, come on, you hated this guy. How are you even talking and saying good words about this person? Don't lie. Just don't say
People
anything
lie,
at all.
innit?
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
got
Just
nothing good to say, don't
yeah,
say it.
just
say it.
don't
Yeah.
say anything at all, man. Just
Yeah.
your answer should be, may Allah forgive this person's sins.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
that's
mean?
it,
That's
that's
it. You don't need to be like, oh, this person was a very nice guy when you didn't even see eye to eye with that
Yeah.
person. I think for me, it's more, as long as I know I've been real, more than anything else. It's like whether you like me, whether you hate me, right? It is because of who I am and my morals and my principles. Because we're not out here to please anybody.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things where there's a way of life that we live as individuals that other people will think is not the right way, right? There's a lot of people that will disagree with our lifestyle, our way of life, our choices, whatever it is. So you can't please everyone anyway. Do you know what I mean? First and foremost, it's Allah, and then it's your parents.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's the ultimate goal.
No, but
is
if-
be,
yeah.
be me. For me, is as long as I know I aren't fake, and you know, if people after talking about me when I'm gone would be he was who he was. There was no he was being real to you
Yeah,
and
yeah,
fake to
yeah.
him kind of thing. It was he said what it was, how it was, and
Yeah.
you guys know a lot about me. Like if there is something that I have to say, and it's a bit of an issue that sometimes I don't filter back any, and I have started learning to filter it a little bit, but not by being fake, but by being reasonable in what I say, and rather than being so blunt to put it.
Then
So.
people need to grow up then
Yeah.
and take the criticism on the chin, innit? Yeah, then people need to grow up and take the criticism on the chin.
Fine.
Yeah,
If
it's,
that
not
is
for, it's not for
criticism.
everyone.
Yeah,
innit?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not-
Spineless life matter.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, that's it,
Yeah,
man.
you
That's
know,
it.
it's not for everyone.
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
be honest,
100%.
But on that note, we have been The Outliers. Thank you very much. If you like our videos, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I've been AK.
I'll be Matty.
I've been T.
I'll be nice.
We've been The Outliers.
Time out. T.O. Let's go.